Hello, this is Sarah Brosh. Welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to do a quick video. This is an appeal to all my beautiful supporters who have helped me so much. So the last few months have been really hard. I'm going to try really hard to keep it together and not cry. So the last few months have been really hard. It hasn't been this bad since May 2020, after, in the months immediately following George Floyd's killing, when it wasn't the same as it was in May 2018, immediately after the living or napping while black hate crime hoax at Yale. But what's happening now, what's been happening to me in the past few months, rivals what happened in the months following George Floyd's killing in May 2020. And that was not as bad as what happened in May 2018, but it was still horrific, and I was suicidal, and I had to basically kind of go back into hiding, and I was deluged all over again with death and rape threats and threats of violence. And I was Michael Harriot, who just left the Root, published what can only be construed as a death threat against me in the Washington Post. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar published what can only be construed as a death threat against me in the LA Times. I was mobbed repeatedly, including by the Appeal, which is now defunct, members, including the former the Appeal president, Josie Duffy Rice, and Rebecca Kavanaugh, an attorney who was formerly with the Appeal, and Tennille, who was formerly with the Appeal. I'm going to do a whole separate video on the Appeal. The Appeal is defunct, and it was destroyed by gross managerial incompetence, and the Appeal was synonymous with Twitter race hustler Sean Kane, who played a major role in the living or napping while black hate crime hoax at Yale. And I'm going to do a whole separate video on the Appeal. The Appeal is dead, and they need to remain dead. So what's been happening to me, and the reason why I mentioned the Appeal members is because they have played a role in what's been happening to me the past few months. So I have just been incessantly mobbed the past few months. The USA Today and Richard Painter both tried to lynch me on Thanksgiving. And basically all of what's been happening the past few months, which has just been horrific and surreal. And I didn't think it would ever get this bad again. The vilification and the defamation campaign against me, led by the fake news press and the black trauma moral outrage industry and the Yale administration, I didn't think it would get this bad again. What's been happening to me the past few months rivals what happened after May 2020, after the killing of George Floyd. So all of this is happening. The incipient event was Richard Painter started relentlessly and viciously attacking me in mid-September 2021, a few months ago, and he started attacking me. I didn't know who Richard Painter was. I didn't know that he existed. I didn't care that whether or not he existed. I still don't care whether or not he exists. I had no idea who he was. He was not someone that was part of my mental landscape in any way, shape, or form until he started viciously attacking me in mid-September 2021. Why on earth would Richard Painter, who is a public figure, who was the White House ethics lawyer during the Bush era, and he has 750,000 Twitter followers. He's contemplating a run for Minnesota governor, which is ludicrous after what he's done to me. But why on earth would this person start viciously and relentlessly attacking me in mid-September 2021? He started viciously attacking me to use me as a proxy to attack University of Chicago law and philosophy professor Brian Leiter. Brian has been amazing to me, not just during the past more than 3.5 years hellish nightmare that I've been living in since the obvious living or not being while black hate crime hoax, but Brian has been amazing to me in the past few months since Richard Painter started attacking me. And Brian has publicly condemned Richard Painter's disgusting behavior. And basically, Richard Painter is evil, and he is abusing a traumatized and vulnerable woman on Twitter for sport, and he is just sick and evil. The good people of Minnesota will never elect him governor after what he's done to me. And so basically, the barrage of death and rape threats and threats of violence have all been incited by Richard Painter's now 3-month-long campaign to drive me to suicide and to destroy my life over a now more than 3.5-year-old non-event and non-crime. And he's subjecting me to woke KKK cancel culture. He's subjecting me to trial by Twitter without due process. And what Richard Painter is doing to me is sick and evil. He is sick. He has since threatened to swat me on Twitter. He's threatened to report me to the bar. He's threatened to report me for fraud. He's evil. He is evil. He keeps comparing me to Ahmaud Arbery's murders. He's putting my life in the gravest of danger. And he's inciting mobs, waves and waves of mobs against me. And he's inciting people. I now have a whole new slew of abusive stalkers who were incited by Richard Painter. And they're not satisfied to just abuse me online, and they're not satisfied with the fact that my lifelong human and civil rights, academic and legal careers were already decimated. That's not enough for them. They want me dead. Richard Painter wants me dead because now I'm a threat to his potential run for Minnesota governor, because I am the proof, I am the living, breathing proof that he is an evil, lying bigot and a fraud. And now he's incited this whole new slew of abusive stalkers, and they want me dead too. They're not satisfied with the fact that my human and civil rights career was already decimated. That's not enough for them. They want me dead. They want me on the streets, starving to death, penniless, dead. And so they're actively trying to get me disbarred, which is my only means of survival, and fired from my temp job. And what I do right now in my jobs is I serve the low-income population. I keep families from being evicted from their apartments due to COVID. I seal people's criminal records so that they can rebuild their lives. I file people's bankruptcies so that they can rebuild their lives. I change the names and gender identities of trans people on their official documents so that they can start their new lives. So but none of this matters to Richard Painter. He just wants me dead now. And the whole slew of abusive stalkers he's inspired just want me dead as well. So what I want to say in this video is, please help me. Please help me. I'm gonna move home. I want to move home to live with my sister, because I just know that it will be so good for me emotionally and mentally and physically to be with my sister, because then I won't be constantly terrified that this whole new slew of abusive stalkers that I have now, who are trying to destroy what semblance of a life I have left and drive me to suicide, will be successful in their efforts. I'm sorry, I've been trying not to cry, but it's hard. So if you can please help me get home to my sister, it would mean so much to me. I know that would be so good for me, because at least I will know then that if the worst happens, and if my whole new slew of abusive stalkers that have been inspired by Richard Painter are successful in decimating what semblance of a life I have left, that at least I know I won't end up on the streets, because my sister won't let that happen no matter what. Okay. I love you all so much. I don't want this video to get too long. I will have all of my fundraising links below. And now my makeup is running because I'm crying. I love you all so much. And if you could help me get home to my sister, that would just mean the world to me. Okay, I'll talk to you later.